Brought to you from the state of Connecticut, capital city of Hartford, this is a Department of Developmental Services production. Today's presentation, Planning for Adulthood.
Hello, I'm Lisa Paragon, a Transition Advisor for the Department of Developmental Services. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the services and support our department offers during the last few years of planning for your students' exit from the school system and transition into adult world. For all of us, the thought of what we wanted to do in our adult life was both exciting and overwhelming. Our transition from high school needed to be carefully planned. We looked to our families, friends, schools, and post-grad community resources to assist in guiding us in the right direction. Transition planning is a process to help students and families establish a vision for the future. The goal is to ensure that the student will be provided the necessary skills and supports to make a successful transition from school to adult life with as little interruption as possible. Transition planning is tailored to the individual, as each student has unique needs, strengths, interests, and preferences. Throughout the transition process, students, families, schools, and community agencies work as a team to listen and help create experiences to make these dreams a reality. I would like to introduce Ellen and her sister Amanda. They were gracious enough to sit and speak with us today about the planning involved to make a successful transition into adulthood.
Hi, my name is Ellen, and I wanted to talk about the transition planning we did to help me to be more independent in becoming an adult. As I was getting ready to leave high school, I did all my senior year activities and walked the stage at graduation from high school in 2009. My diploma was held so I could work on my transition goals and objectives. For the next 3 years, I exited high school in 2012.
Hi, my name is Amanda. I'm Ellen's sister. My family and I assist the school and DDS to better plan for her transition. As her sister, I was an active member of Ellen's educational planning team, and I also was able to bring a different perspective to the table. I am here to share my own experiences and how Ellen and I prepared ourselves for the adult world.
Special Education Law, IDEA, or Individuals with Disability Education Act, requires transition planning as a part of your IEP, Individualized Education Program, by your 16th birthday or before. Transition planning involves thinking about your goals after high school and developing a long-range plan to get there. These are the 4 important areas to discuss during transition planning and should be included in the student's IEP, or Individualized Education Program. Post-secondary planning, employment, independent living, self-advocacy, and social skills. Transition planning is very unique to each individual. Goals and planning should be based on your own individual strengths, interests, and preferences. Your team's planning helps create a map that identifies the future goals, skills, and supports you would need before you leave school. The team will also help identify and develop high school experiences to help reach these goals. Students and their families are key players in transition planning. You need to actively participate in your planning and placement team meetings. Your wealth of information must be communicated with your school in order to develop a successful transition. Post-secondary planning provides opportunities for the team and the student to explore options for the future. It is a time to assess your needs and identify these activities that will assist you in achieving your goals. Post-secondary planning includes person-centered planning, decision-making, self-advocacy, along with skill building as goals are developed based on your students' interests and strengths. Some questions you might want to ask are, do I have the skills to live as independently as possible? Am I able to self-advocate and express my preferences and choices? Do I use appropriate social skills at home, school, work, or in the community? Do I know my rights? Are we making the necessary connections with adult service providers and community resources? If you want more information about what I just discussed, you can visit the State Department of Education publication called Building a Bridge, which is also on our Department of Developmental Services website. This resource manual includes personal checklists and transition assessments, transition law, self-advocacy rights and responsibilities, and overview of the transition process. How did your team help develop a plan for you?
One of the most important parts of transition planning is getting to know who you are as a person. What are your goals and visions for the future? The transition process helps identify and explore your strengths and interests to empower you to make good choices about your future.
My team did a person-centered plan to help me learn the things that I could do by myself and things that I need to work on. I was the most important person at my PPT meetings because they were planning for my future.
An important aspect of adult life is our ability to make and keep positive relationships. Have you discussed ways to develop and maintain friendships? Have you developed or identified ways to encourage relationship building? Our social skills impact our ability to succeed with our friends, community, and on the job. Are you involved in any team sports, after-school clubs, or activities? Are you joining your community's recreational events, dances, and social clubs? During our high school years, it is important to practice these skills. Get involved with your school activities. Can you tell me about some of the activities you were involved with during high school?
I was part of the Vision Group, which worked on supporting the community and the environment. I was on the volleyball team for 2 years, and then I dove into my art. I was an active member of the art club. It was great to be with people that had similar interests.
My team knew how important it was to be involved in my school and meet new friends. Besides making school more fun, it made me a more confident person. I was involved in school plays, managing the high school basketball team, organizing junior prom, and also in Special Olympics. Being more social helped me on my job too.
Self-advocacy is about knowing your rights and learning to speak up for yourself. It involves making your needs and wants known to others in an appropriate manner. Self-advocates use words to solve their problems. Being a self-advocate means that your voice is heard and it's understanding your disability and expressing what works and doesn't work for you. The more opportunities for self-advocacy experiences, the greater likelihood that you will obtain and maintain these advocacy skills. It is very important that people advocate for themselves at their individual planning meetings and school PPT or planning placement team meetings. If you are interested in learning more about self-advocacy, you can contact the Department of Developmental Services Self-Advocate Coordinators. They can provide you with the useful information about upcoming training events or about joining one of the many self-advocacy groups. What were some of the ways you helped Ellen self-advocate for herself?
We encouraged Ellen to speak up and make her own choices and decisions in her life. It was important for us to make sure she knew her ability. As a family, we learned together that she needed to do those things on her own. We wanted her to be more independent and more confident so that others would also see her as a confident, able individual.
Sometimes you need to make sure others understand what you are trying to say or how you feel. They need to know what is important to you. Some things your team can do to make sure you are being heard are person-centered planning and having you participate in your PPT meetings. I also was involved in mentoring incoming freshmen, CT CASA, kids as self-advocates, and youth leadership.
Recognizing the most valuable gift you can offer your young adult is helping them envision the possibilities that lie ahead. Offer the encouragement, support, and experience that will prepare them to tackle the employment world and achieve an enriching and productive life in their community. Some questions to think about may be, have you explored interests and abilities for potential work opportunities? Has a career interest survey been completed? Have job shadowing experiences been established? What goals and activities have been looked at to develop positive work habits and appropriate work behaviors? Have community work options been identified? Employment is truly a collaborative effort. Families, school, adult service agencies, and community employers must work together to create opportunities that lead to paid employment. How did you learn about what you wanted to do for work once you left school?
For all of us, it can be very unclear to know exactly what you want to do for work as an adult. I needed to start thinking about and exploring different jobs that involved my interests. I love art, and my goal was to go away to school and surround myself with like-minded individuals. Through the high school, I was able to shadow in an elementary school art class, which I loved. The high school guidance department played a role in helping me plan for my future opportunities. It is important to have goals and dreams, but understand you might need to take different paths to get there. Family support is crucial to help along the way.
Some of the things I did while I was still in school to learn about what I wanted to do for work were career
Interest.
surveys to job placement, summer job, school employment training.
6.
That I'm now working in my hometown, Big Y. I get followed along support from DDS.
Although it is important to learn about math, reading, and sciences, it is also important to learn about skills you will need when you are done with school, like things like paying bills, eating healthy, learning to cook, doing your own laundry, cleaning your home, and taking public transportation. The best way to practice these skills would be outside of school, in your community. This way you get to know more people and places in your community. This is a great way to make connections. How to ensure the Department of Developmental Services is planning for your son or daughter. Become DDS eligible as soon as possible. If you need to apply, please go to our DDS eligibility webpage. Adult agencies need time to plan. Don't wait until high school years. To ensure a smooth transition, it is important that DDS has a clear understanding of your students' needs. At age 18, apply for supplemental security income to determine the student's disability. Once SSI has been established, the student must be enrolled onto Medicaid Husky C through the Department of Social Services. Medicaid provides health care services to disabled adults. Students must be on Medicaid in order to be eligible for DDS case management services and school graduate funding. Also, investigate if guardianship is appropriate. Visit your local probate court for information and application. You can also watch the DDS video on guardianship. It is on the DDS website. Individuals found eligible for DDS services that have not applied for SSI or Medicaid can receive assistance through our Individual and Family Supports Helpline. You may also request the assistance of a transition advisor to help students identify necessary supports and link them to any services they will need upon completion of their educational program. For all of us, moving from school to adult life can be both exciting and challenging. Don't wait to start this process. It is so important to plan early to help outline, plan, and prepare your student to become the most independent as possible to move into the adult world. It takes time to understand what direction your student would like to pursue and what supports are needed to make their transition successful. Thank you, Ellen and Amanda, for joining me today. Your success story will certainly help our other families in their journey.
Recorded at the Department of Developmental Services Production Studio in HD.